Okay, why don't we start with Saturday night? Because for what? How many times now? Is this the sixth time this season where Auston and Mitch were both held without a point? Is that where you start off of Saturday night? Like, at the end of the day, we can sit there and break down a few different things that we saw out of it, but is this what people are talking about?
This is it. Yeah, it's the first line struggles. And it's not just that they that they didn't score in that game. It's that the process underneath the results are not good. Kip, right now, this group, Jonas Siegel, his article today mentions that there's 8 lines on the Leafs that have played 30 minutes. This line that you're talking about, the top line, the Matthews and Marner line, is second from the bottom in terms of generating shots. So they're not generating anything. Only the Reeves line generates less than them. So it's process, not just results for me. They are performing poorly, legitimately. So, that is a major issue.
How can that be? How can there? And listen, I only go by my analytics is optics, right? What I see, and I told you that I've never seen them without the puck less.
Yeah, that's what you don't like.
And
they don't have it ever.
That to me is the biggest concern. Is of course I've never seen Mitch Marner in the past 5 or 6 years chasing the puck like I have this year.
Well, one thing I think of, and this is not to excuse Matthews and Marner, but like Hyman's job was go get it. Go stop BF1 and stop the breakout. And Bunting, you don't have to love him, but he went in hard after the puck, at least got tangled up. And, Marner and Matthews like to come through his F2 and pick that puck clean and start it. I don't know that Nyes does that the same way for them. He's another guy who's probably more like them in terms of likes to shoot it and likes to have it.
He's just trying to figure out his game at the NHL level, isn't he?
He hasn't played 20 games in the league yet. Well, maybe yes, whatever. Hasn't played 30 games in the league yet, whatever number you want to set it at.
You're close.
Whatever
it is, you're very close.
I'm in the ballpark. So, yeah, that is maybe an issue. But I do think that excuses them a little bit when they turn the puck over. It feels like every time they have it, they feel disconnected. They feel distant. They're not tight. So, no more.
To me, the Marner conversation amongst my buddies, amongst Leafs fans on Twitter and text line, everything that we get, has reached a fever pitch here now.
Well,
Marner.
we know where it's heading. That
he's in the crosshairs.
He's going to be your buddy's whipping boy right now.
Well, Klingberg's hips don't work. They don't have a traditional guy that they can put everything on at the moment. Reeves has been in and out of the lineup. That's a conversation piece that's been taken away. Bertuzzi's been better.
That? Why is it you and your buddies go to Mitch Marner first and put the weight on him? And where is Matthews and I think even Tavares to a lesser degree? And Tavares, for the most part, has been producing. But why Marner before Matthews?
To me, this year more than other years where they've taken it on the brunt, I think both of them are more deserving this year than it has been in years past. I think a lot of years past, people maybe got harder on Marner with the Matthews production, and it was easier to kind of point to Marner. I don't know what it is about him. Listen, it's a personality thing. I just think it's a lot of the way he is. I don't know what makes the difference between him and Matthews, but it's there.
Always gets a little bit of a free pass compared to Marner.
I think part of it is if your job is to be kind of the silky facilitator guy who handles the puck a lot, when neither of them are producing, you feel like you're getting more out of the bigger guy who hits people and wins faceoffs and has like a bit different element. For Marner, when it's not happening on that offensive side, it's tougher to see what he's doing well.
To your point, I've always said that, and I don't know, sometimes you've agreed and sometimes you probably haven't, but if as Auston has said on our show, if Mitch is going, he's the stick that stirs the drink.
Yeah,
and it just seems like even Willie's having a career year. He's been awesome, but it's not good enough to drag everybody with him. Marner's had more of the effect of I can take more people with me with my play than possibly anybody else on the roster.
And
I also
is that fair to say?
Go ahead, Barney.
Well, I just think the difference too, Kip, is like Matthews' numbers kind of look like, even though he's had 3 hat tricks and that's why his numbers look good, they kind of look like what you expect. Like he's at 14 goals, which is second or third in the league. And, it kind of feels like he's kind of on track to have one of his seasons, whereas Marner, we haven't seen him. What did he have last year for point streak? Like 23 games, 25 games, whatever it was.
Record.
Yeah, and he's had points in 2 of the last 7 games. So
well,
it just
it's
feels
not
like
good.
that's not who Marner is. He only has 5 goals, on pace for his rookie season numbers.
And Matthews is right there beside him, right, with those same similar numbers.
Yeah, points-wise he is, but not goal-wise, which is what you think of Matthews, I think. So it just feels, I don't know, it feels like the production for Marner is not the same, even though you're right. Statistically, they're not too far off from one another.
But I think to your point, Kyper, that the high end of Marner is one of the best players like in the league. When he's going, I guess is the clip that we use all the time. And when it's not there, I think it's just that he's set such a high standard for himself that all Leaf fans kind of know what he looks like when he's going. And when he's not, it's really noticeable. And like you said, he drags the whole team with him when he's on it, and he just hasn't been on it. And he's got the points he's producing, which it's hard to really, quantify. I don't know really how you do it, but it just hasn't been good.
On that subject, let's go to Sheldon Keefe for our first Kyper's Clipper of the week. Clip 1.
From Keefe.
No, I mean, all guys want to score. Guys want to win. I thought that line was good today. That's interesting, right? We're getting all sorts of questions about these guys, and I think we all agree that they could play better. They've set such a high standard; they can play better. But yet here we are, one of the many reports I get before every game. I'm reading through them here before the game, and I look at one of them. I look at is our 5-on-5 scoring this season, and at the top of the list is Mitch Marner. So, guy here that we say is, hasn't played his best hockey and has all the hardest matchups every single night, yet is at the top of our team in 5-on-5 scoring. So it's interesting how it all works out. We'll stay building our group and building our game, but let's not pile on the negatives here.
You know what? I'm glad he said that, because I think if you start piling on, if it's one thing within social media or what talk radio or whatever you want to call it is out there on Mitch Marner, but if that guy starts piling on Mitch, Mitch is the one guy that I think is ultra sensitive, that it could even drag him down even more. And Kelly Rudy, I think, had a clip Saturday night on just his body language, and you can just see how it's wearing on the guy. He's not having any fun. There's no joy. I'm not sure where he is in his space right now, but fun on his meter is really on the low side.
Yeah. I will say the one thing that I see in my own social media, Kip, is people saying, about a clip like that from Keefe is like, why do these guys continually get that pass? And that's great from Keefe that he's doing it verbally there.
Yeah.
I think that the complaint isn't the verbal part. It's that if they're not working for a game, can we send out power play 2 to start a power play for a shift? Could we not have them out there on a back-to-back for 24 minutes in a game or whatever it may be? I think there's frustration because you talk about accountability. People don't feel like Kucherov gets benched in Tampa Bay or Meyer gets benched in New Jersey. We just never see it.
We've had this conversation.
We have.
I don't get it. I don't understand it.
No matter how they play.
You're right. So before you attack anybody verbally, how about just doing the one thing that means the most to them and take away their ice?
Yeah. That should happen at some point. And I guess the next solution there is a bigger picture one is shuffling them up. And they've done that, right? As of tomorrow night, word is that Nylander has gone up and taken Marner's place. Marner's going to play with Tavares and Bertuzzi. Bertuzzi, by the way, has been the best of the top 6 outside of Willie.
Yeah.
For, I don't know, the
6 or 7 games. Yeah. All right, let's go to Sheldon Keefe on the clip 2 on shuffling the lines.
I just coming back off, 4 road games in a row here now and come back home. So it's a chance to kind of reset. And obviously we've been talking a lot about that group. Just been great reluctance on my part to make a change to the Tavares group in particular, and with Willie in particular, who has, really found a nice groove. His game's been going so well that you're reluctant to make a change to him in his situation. You don't want to affect guys who are rolling and feeling good in order to to boost other groups. But I think the time's right, and even for Willie himself, he's kind of, since coming back from Sweden the weekend, I don't think it's gone as well for him. So just the timing's right there.
Okay. It's really just a change that we've seen how many times over the course of 5 years when it's like either Willie with Matthews or Willie with Tavares. But is that really a big change?
Well, there's two things I hear in that clip, and I agree with you first on that, where it's like, yeah, I mean, you're not reinventing the wheel here, but you're flipping the wingers that you do once or twice a year every year.
Yeah,
so I agree with you on that.
Anyone on your beer league decide what the lines, they're like, flip these guys.
Flip the lines, yeah. The other thing that, listening to him say there and kind of bringing Willie into it is that maybe he is trying to soften the blow again for Mitch, that it's not the reason they're changing it is for Mitch. Like, Willie's been really good in both games since coming back. Did he play 26 minutes on Saturday night?
Yeah, it's interesting. He said
Listen, I've said this about Mitch Marner. Nobody should be playing 26 minutes. It's too much.
It's absurd.
Yeah, no, but Willie played 26, a career high by 2 minutes for Willie.
I know.
Which is 2 minute career high.
But if you don't think he's good, you're not going to be playing him 26 minutes. So I don't necessarily believe him when he's saying that that's one of the reasons he's changing it.
Right.
Is what I'm getting at here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
You don't play a guy 26 minutes if you think he's no good.
Hasn't been great since we came back. Get back on the ice.
Yeah, shoot another one in the net.
Yeah.
I'd rather see him shuffle 9 guys up and don't designate a bona fide number 1, 2, or your third line. Have 3 mids. Seriously.
No, I completely agree.
Have 3 mids and say, guys, stop chasing your points. Stop acting like cookie monsters.
Yeah.
Okay? It doesn't matter. If we lock up, if our analytics tell us we are doing better jobs of taking away the slot chances, what's the big, who cares if you give up 1 glaring or 2 glaring errors every night that end up in your net? Mm-hmm. Hey, how about tomorrow night against Florida? Try to win a game 1-0. I don't care.
Yeah.
But when I watch, you go up 1-0 in Pitt, and I don't know if you remember the goal clearly, the Gensel tap in.
Yeah, sure do. That was atrocious.
200 feet of just a colossal error, and I think Kevin Bieksa talked about maybe
Brody not taking.
Yeah, exactly. But for me, the glaring error was the rush in. Mm-hmm. If you really looked at it, it was Nyes bringing the puck through the neutral zone, and the closest man with him is Mitch Marner on the far side. Mm-hmm. So they've established as the F1 and F2 on the play, which Nyes puts it in deep, ends up behind the net. Mitch goes to support him, and Auston, who should have known inside the red line that he is the third man high, decides to go chase another goal. And all 3 of them end up below the goal line. Mm-hmm. And now Mitch, as an F2, looks at his centerman and goes, he's not the responsible in one, and I got to go cover his ass. And he does actually make it back until Morgan Riley decides to, I don't know, let Gensel get behind him. Mm-hmm. And then all bets are off after that. But it's like, hey, Auston, where are you going? Where are you going? How does the number 1 line against Crosby end up 3 below their goal line? That's just inexcusable. Play the right way.
Yeah. I don't know the rush exactly or how that played out, but it is indicative of, it was funny. One of the quotes that Auston had about their line struggling was that sometimes it's effort related. It's not skill related. And I don't know if he's talking about his teammates on his line or himself or what, but it's a pretty strange thing to say about your own group. So I don't know. I think it's good for them both.
See, for me, it's between the ears.
Yeah.
A lot of what I see is between the ears, which, includes Robertson deciding to go back to Brody on the Achari goal.
Yeah,
right?
and again, Brody, not great on that play either. He doesn't make a great choice once he's put in a tough spot.
He didn't want that puck at all.
No,
right?
He looks like he doesn't want the puck, period. So, a lot of it is you zoom out with this team right now. And, I was having a Twitter exchange with Luke Asdick this morning about how it's kind of tough to know what teams are good right now because it feels like flat cap for so many years has limited how much better you can get, but the draft, the way it is, kind of helps the bottom teams. So it feels like there's 25 teams in this pack with a couple outliers above and below, and the Leafs are kind of in that pack right now. There's a lot to sort out, and so you can understand why Brad Treliving has a press conference today to explain what's going on. Where are we? Can you fix some of these problems? Because they have problems here this year for the first time in a while.